Hey everyone, welcome to the condescending version of Bunga Ranger Talk, where everything is all right.
Right?
Everything is great.
Well,
It couldn't
nolly, dude.
get better.
We're totally tubular, you know?
Yeah, the tubular is a word, all right. How you doing, buddy?
Doing okay. Living my semi interesting life.
Yeah. I'm juggling like 40 things myself, trying to get this and that to happen, and that's why we do this show to kind of escape reality and have a little fun with some figures and
Exactly.
Rangers. All right, so for everyone watching, what we're going to do today is we're going to be unboxing some of the loyal subjects, some of my recent gets, and then we're going to take a little break and get into news to close out the show.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything you want to bring up or talk about before we jump in here?
I want to hold back because if there's something that's in the news section of this that we haven't talked about,
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't want to go
Yeah.
ahead and say anything.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna hold back this way.
Yeah. I'll share. Okay, so let's get started with this. So the first thing we're looking at is I figure ladies first. So we're gonna start right here with Jenica.
Yes.
See what she's all about. See right there.
Oh yeah, we can see her.
There's the back. There's
And
the
you
side.
got this at Ross, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, see that just surprised me because I remember it only came out like I feel like a few months ago. That was it, like a few months ago,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's like boom at Ross. It's like what the hell's going on here?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So this has a variant that's I think it's the Amazon one where it's like her clothes are a little darker, but we'll see. If I find it for $10, maybe. But I'm not gonna. I'm not spending $25 on it. That's crazy.
that's one of those things where it's like, what do you like more? Do you like the dark colors or do you like the light colors? I mean, it's just one of those things.
Yeah, I don't know why they did this like this because technically, color wise, she's supposed to go with these guys, right? That are sort of like just bare bones color. The 4 pack, they're not even the black and whites. They're like grayish ones because she's
Yeah, I
pretty
see
gray.
that.
But
Okay.
it's weird because what do you call it? This is supposed to be the general release one. This isn't supposed to be the chase.
No.
The general should be the actual what the colors are, but we'll see. So here she is.
Yes. Yes, she is there.
Can you see the face sculpt there?
Yeah, I can see it pretty well. Especially the mouth. The eyes look kind of washed out, but
Yeah.
what are we gonna do?
Yeah. These are the accessories that are all falling out.
Yeah, typical. That's typical for them.
That's
There
the
you
second.
go. That one. I kind of like that one. That
This
one
one
kind of shows. Yeah,
with the
it
little
kind of shows
teeth.
more of an attitude.
Yeah, she looks sort of chick monkey to me, but
Well, yeah, but
yeah, I know that is a style. So. But let's see here. See how she moves. So I get why they did the also the like the darker colors is like the Amazon because the sculpt you can't use it as much with this figure as you can with the turtles because the turtles they've released them so many times.
yeah,
Danica, it's like you only get one shot to do it. Oh man,
yeah,
look at
yep.
that.
That's the typical loyal subjects right there. When I'm going to say this. When Super 7 does have a point, when you get too much articulations, you got to figure out a way to make it work. And sometimes it doesn't work out the way you're hoping it will work.
it's funny because it's a deep bend too. Like, look, I'm gonna pull both her legs so you can see. Because she has swivels on the thighs. Like, look, look how deep that goes in there. That goes pretty pretty extensively, so you could get that range.
I know, but when
Right.
is anybody gonna do that? I mean, that just doesn't look right. It looks horrible, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Even if you're using it for like stop motion or something, that's just horrible.
yeah. I told you I got her because like it's already whatever for the price, and I wanted a girl turtle, but I really don't have like huge attachments to the character. Like do you have any background on the character? Because I know she was like
Uh,
woman or something, right? Well,
she's
isn't
an
that
IDW comic book character. That's all I know. I
yeah
don't know the story behind her. I'm an old school, Kevin Eastman, Peter Lloyd comic book guy. So
yeah? This is like the new version of Venus
yeah, that's like the newer day Venus, I guess.
with like Wolverine to try to make her tougher.
Yeah, I guess the one thing I do remember is, from my understanding, she used to be human at one point. She had a human form. So yeah,
I'm crazy about this head sculpt either, but I mean it's okay. Uh, it's got swivels on the top of the shoulders. It's got butterfly joints, but I think the figure is made so tight you can't really see them. And this figure's, from what I see, she's not pinless, but she's like pretty pinless comparatively because her thighs, there's no pins on her thighs. There's pins on her elbows and her like forearm here, but look at her legs are pretty pinless.
yeah,
So it's odd. It's odd as a toy maker because I'm a toy maker. Like if you're gonna go pin, okay, you make pin. The whole figure's pin. But if
hmm
you go pinless, make the whole thing pinless because it's a different process of like smashing the metal plates together, forming them with PVC and all these other things. Like it's a completely different way of toy making. So it's odd that you would like split it that way.
yeah. I got you. I understand.
It's like you're cooking. There's a big difference between making soup or making barbecue. You're still cooking, but you just doing two completely different things. So
Yeah.
there's that. Let's see. She, she has a little blade to her that goes right there. I would have liked to seen a little more yellow, but like since I'm not like super referencey on this character, I couldn't, I can't even hard nitpick it like, oh, it's supposed to be like this in the cartoon or oh in the comic. I just got it because it's a girl turtle and what the hell. She has these removable bandana things here, which I personally hate because they want to break. If you do this, this should be plastic. I mean, this should be soft goods, right? Like
Yeah.
just the peg should be plastic, and then the rest so you can move it around. Because
Uh,
it's if you put pressure on this, I'm gonna break this.
sooner or later, yes. I actually think it should have been maybe even a little metal piece, something tough enough where you can take it in and out without having to worry about it. Um, from experience of having action figures with my kids that had the same stuff, they do break pretty easily. So
Yeah.
yeah, it really sucks at times. The companies that are collectors lines do some funny business like that.
She's got a good size to her, so like scaling wise, she seems to be all right. See, this is what I meant about look how deep the back of her legs are. Those hinges are
Yeah.
pretty deep, but she is what she is. One positive I'll give it. Look, this shell that they made for her, it's pretty clean. I hope it's coming through.
Oh, it's coming through.
Yeah, that shell that was very nicely sculpted, very nicely
Yeah.
designed. There's not a bunch of ugly cuts to that. and it's well placed. Because sometimes with loyal subjects, they'll make the shell, and then it's like there's such a division between the here's the shell and here's the figure. It's not here. Look, like this to the side. It looks like it belongs on her. It doesn't look like a different thing. So that's good. So whoever designed this character, loyal subjects, design wise, you did all right. You 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 hit the mark here, and the good thing with this character, I think too, is since there's not like 20 different versions of her, there's not like 20 different versions comparing her. You know, so
Yeah.
it's like oh the Super Seven version or the Playmates version. No, no, this
Oh,
is
don't give Super 7 any more ideas, please. Please. They're already getting out. They already have two new reaction Power Rangers coming out.
oh yeah. Well, I didn't know about that.
Okay,
What?
so one is Shell Shock. Do you remember Shell Shock?
Okay,
He's
yeah, I
he's
remember
the big he's the turtle with the thing on his head, the
the light.
traffic light on his head, the one that made Trini run all the time. Um, and then they're doing a Lord Draken reaction figure.
Well, I knew they were gonna eventually.
Well, yeah,
I
but the
know that they
but
were.
Shell Shock is interesting. I might have to get him in a reaction because that thing's gonna be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Got some more hands on there. You've seen these hands like a million times. You get the idea.
Oh yeah.
Uh, these are a little interesting because they're like open hand with the claws on them. So those are something.
Nice.
Those are little effects there.
You know,
And
I'm not a big fan of the effect pieces since I had the Hasbro Lightning Collection stuff. They're kind of, well, I don't know about them. They're like the Lightning Collection ones are kind of flimsy, in my opinion.
you were saying Super Seven's doing a reaction. Is that a whole wave or that was just like two characters that they're doing?
Two characters, as far as I know. I
Oh,
just saw it today on X. I'm gonna just start calling it X because that's what everybody knows it as. But
yeah.
yeah, on X, somebody was posting it. I was like, "You gotta be kidding me!"
I did not see that at all. So I know they had. I think we talked about it last time. The glow in the dark Megazord reaction thing.
Yes, and I'm
That was,
planning on getting that actually. I don't mind collecting the like I said, when it comes to reaction, I don't mind collecting the variants of that because they're not that expensive and they're just a variant in a small form instead of being $65 for the same thing over and over again. Nah,
yeah,
$25 isn't bad.
yeah. Let's see here. Put this girl away. Oh, she does come with a trading card. You see,
Nice.
there's the back if you want to pause and read it there. That is Jenica. And I think next we'll look at just one of these because they're exactly the same. But I got 2 foot soldiers.
Okay, okay.
I mean, you kind of have to get a foot soldier. Funny thing is, this is a pretty old wave, and I don't know why it's hitting now. Because this was when the original, their first waves were coming out. So,
Overstock in Target.
I'm looking at the back of the box to see if it has a date on it. But I'm just seeing like the Nickelodeon and the loyalsubjects.com. It has a wave. Oh, here it is. It says the Loyal Subjects Wave 2 LLC. So this is part of Wave 2.
Damn,
That's right.
that's that's been a while.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
When did Wave 2 come out?
Oh, here I found it. Here's the date. This is 2021.
Dang,
This is a 4-year wave. We're in
that's
20,
crazy. That's very crazy.
and I got it at that price you like right there.
Yeah, I know. I've been staying away from Ross and Burlington's, and you know why. I'm not gonna get into it
Yeah,
on here, but you know why.
yeah, yeah. The politics.
Yeah, politics. You know, I'm just waiting for everything to go down because Trump's in the office. You know,
Hey,
I
I
am so kidding.
White Dragon, then go into that one.
You know what? You know what? I am kidding. I heard the inauguration today. Okay,
Yeah,
so I'm
yes,
just.
yes, yes.
I mean, he wants us to have free speech.
Hey,
Yeah,
this
so
is the condescending episode, so
right, right. He said free speech no matter what,
everything is
so
all right.
everything's gonna be good now.
Yeah, we can do it. We can do it.
Yeah, I'll
Yo,
zoom
say the
back in
water
on
boy,
you.
you can do it.
Yes, I've seen The Water Boy. Great movie.
Yeah. So it looks like he shares the legs with Casey Jones. It looks like at least the top of the legs. I think the bottom of the legs they have. I think I have it behind the figure too. Since I just so happen to have Casey lying around.
I do not like that one bit. Like you just tip him over like that. There's like no supports.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look like almost the one for one.
You know what? No, I was wrong. I'm sorry. These are actually smaller. He's the foot soldier's thinner, thinner legs.
Mm-hmm.
I have to like dig out, mate, because I don't know where these legs can be used again. But like it is, the figure is sculpted even smaller than Casey. Like, look,
Well, you know what? That's okay though, because he is a robot. So I
yeah, but
believe, I believe he wasn't much taller than the turtles in the cartoon.
yeah, I like the color scheme that they went with because I like the purple and gray. That's pretty simple. Purple and black. It's
Yeah.
pretty close to the cartoon that they're trying to do because they're not trying to do the playmates like blue accents and all that. It's a pretty simple color palette.
Yeah, Loyal Subjects does a pretty good job of not recreating, but creating their own typical line, if that
Yeah.
makes any sense.
Oh well, I'll show this because the leg pops off pretty easy. They're the joints on the foot soldier are kind of like GI Joe joints. Like the remember the O ring thing. Look,
Yeah.
that is what it's supposed to.
Oh, it's the old fashioned type of joint. Yeah.
It doesn't didn't break, so that's good. But
Well, if it did, you only paid $10 and you got a second one.
yeah, but I'm not trying to throw away $10.
Oh, you don't. You just super glue it. Call it a day.
Especially this year, please.
Yeah. Sometimes things just meant to sit on a shelf, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it comes with the fist hands, and now I'm putting in his holding hands to see what he looks like holding something. This is a very tiny figure, and it feels very. It almost reminds me of April. Like this should be bigger type figure.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
If this was bigger, it'd probably do better. Like if I had to like rate it, there's nothing horrific about the figure, but like, dude, or you know what, this be good if it was like upscale to like 6.5 inches. It would go with like the classics line.
Yeah.
As far as articulation, it kind of because it has look this. They finally did something that looks decent, and I give them credit for this because they never did this again. Because I think we're up to like wave 9 of the. But during this specific look, that's the knees. That actually looks fine.
Yeah.
This is
It
the first
does.
we've opened a few of these. You
Yeah.
know, this is the first time I'm giving compliments to that articulation. So that the knees are good. That's fine. It doesn't look like you're gonna be up all night thinking about like why did they do this.
Yeah.
This is
You,
fine.
yeah. You have April O'Neil, don't you?
Yes, we
Is it?
opened her.
Yeah. Is it the same body? Maybe are they using April O'Neil for the
No,
foot soldier?
no,
No.
no. That's a different sculpt because April has all of the all of the what do you call the pockets and the linings are all different.
Okay.
Here, this is fine too. This is probably their best articulated figure as far as like joints. Honestly, 'cause look. The elbows are fine too. It doesn't
Oh, the
look.
elbows are great. Yeah.
The knees are good. The elbows are good. It's just way too damn skinny and small. This is like almost GI Joe size, and for this figure to shine, if it was bigger, it'd be. I like this figure, bro. See, this is what's frustrating about loyal subjects when they do something good, but they do it in such a small scale that you're like, whatever, you know, like this is pretty tight, so this isn't gonna like mess up on you as far as like the neck joint. Like
Yeah,
you
I
hear
can hear the
popping.
clicking.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that clicking noise. I hate that clicking noise, but I understand it.
think about this. Think about how loud this is. I'm not even using this recording, and you can still hear that.
Oh yeah. Like
That's
like
pretty
I
loud.
s- it was funny when I used to do toy reviews on my channel because I haven't done it in a long time because why? I
Yeah,
don't have there's nothing coming out for me.
yeah.
But when something would squeak or
Here's a
crackle
good.
like that,
Yeah,
oh, they got the little ray gun. Yeah, I would always say, "Oh, I hate that noise," because I did. I always say that. I
yeah,
really hated it. That's neat. They got you the wave gun. Awesome.
yeah. This reminds me of the original Krang's gun. Remember, he had like a sucker at the end,
Uh
the,
huh.
the android body one. So this is the weapon is way too big for him. Look, the weapon is look how big the weapon is. Look, check this out. It's the weapon is longer than his leg. You see this, right?
I see it.
Okay, because you see where the top of the it's longer than his leg. This figure could have been. Oh man, this is one of those that.
Now, anybody that has this figure and knows how to actually use the weapon, please leave a comment down below and let us be wrong. Maybe you're supposed to be holding it put some other way. I'm just kidding, but I'm not kidding. You never know. Someone might have this special picture where the guy's holding it in some kind of way, and you're like, oh, duh, you know.
Yeah, this
This-
spear is almost as. I think it is exact. It's like right to it. The spear is almost the entire height of the figure, standing up straight. So
I will say with the spear though, that's actually okay because even in the cartoons and in the video games, those spears are long, very, very long. So even if they're basing it off the video game, I did those spears. Wow.
the hands are pretty good for their human hands because man, they do some rough human hands. So these are not like the worst things in the world. If they were bigger, I think the PVC would have more give, so it wouldn't like stretch out. Because now even trying to like put two hand, look like this hand, I'm stretching the hell out of it, so I can already see the stretching points of stress, the stress points, you know.
Hmm.
So this is already stretching it. And if the idea is for the foot soldier to hold the gun like this, you're messing with it. But it's not horrible. If I'm telling you, bro, if this was real talk, if this was bigger, if this was a 7-inch figure, they'd be fine because there's nothing.
Yeah.
It's probably their shout out to loyal subjects. This is probably your best figure, honestly. Like all things considered, I'd probably put this one and like the IDW Shredder is probably like number two, like right there. The two best figures so far, and we've covered a few. So you remember that IDW Shredder was pretty
Oh
good.
yeah, I remember.
That looks good too. It was just a little bigger. It would scale better. And you know what? I like this as far as like the GI Joe peg for the crotch legs.
Hmm.
This is stronger than the. I mean, this is objectively speaking, but this is a better system than the Super Seven Ultimates that you've seen how small that is, and
Oh yeah.
that's like 3 times the size of this guy. So they nailed it here. Why could they just? Well, it's a different company, so maybe
It's a
it's
different company. They have to follow different rules.
yeah,
That's the thing is, people go, well, this one's better than this one. But in reality is they can't copycat each other. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay,
yeah,
well, how are you doing the figure? Okay, so you're using a double jointed this way and that way. You're making it this tall. Okay, well, we're Super 7 going to make it a 7-inch, but we can't use those same joints because then you can say, well, we're copying your design, yeah, but except it's just taller.
yeah.
And then you get into copyright claims and all that kind of. stuff,
You
So
know,
I understand it.
yeah. Why don't you tell everybody about our channel and stuff? Because I want to pull out another figure and try to test something with scaling.
All right. So first off, let's just do this. Let's go old fashioned YouTube. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Like this video, like all my other videos that we've done together. And basically, this is just an over the top toy channel that talks about everything from Super 7, NECA, and everything else. We do some news, we do some live streams at least once or twice a year. So come along and join us, communicate with us, leave comments. We love comments. I usually come and look at them every once in a while and just have fun. Have a lot of fun. Prove us wrong. So if we say something that's not correct, leave it in the comments and tell us that we're not correct and explain why. It's always fun. I love that kind of stuff.
I wanted to pull out the remastered Leo, see how he looks next to him. Because if this scales all right, then I might have to buy a third one. See, that don't look terrible, but the
No, it
turtle's
doesn't look
so
real.
small anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if this was a little bigger, like half an inch more, it'd be great. But still, very nice work, loyal subjects. This is good, a good thing. I hope you guys revisit this too. Oh, as far as like he's got fist hands and open hands for those of you wondering, and a knife.
And a knife, yes.
Knife.
He could have had a katana. I mean, they did have katanas at one point.
This that comes with two little shuriken stars.
Yeah.
Let me put this away so we can make space.
We always need space in our life,
Man, you're right. You're right. You're right. And here's the other one. They're exactly the same. So might get a third. And the last unboxing for today is going to be this right here. This behemoth. I don't know what this one's called. Like, because is this supposed to? This isn't the dead turtles.
No.
What's this? If somebody knows in the comments, please drop
I think
a
they're just a variant, really.
yeah. There's the artwork for it.
I think it says it inside the box.
Yeah, let's see. It says BTS figures, articulation assortment, sculpted and inspired by Mateos. Yeah, that's basically it.
So I think it's a different sculpt than the original ones.
Yeah. I got this box set for a pretty good price. Actually, a little cheaper than this because the box was like not destroyed, but pretty beat up.
So they discounted you?
A little bit, yeah. They took a couple bucks.
Nice.
So, you know what? What the hell? And it's nice to get an entire set of turtles. Like that way, you don't have to be hunting down the red one or the blue one or whatever. You got them all. Yeah, we're done. They come in this slip tray.
Nice.
They come with
Playing cards.
yeah, they all come with
Yeah.
one little bag. They did a good job with the packaging. This is look. There's a
Oh, yeah.
There's an extra.
Artwork.
Yeah, there's extra artwork. So if you want to like keep this artwork for yourself or whatever, I think you can.
Oh, nice. There you go. Now you can frame it.
Yeah,
Nice.
so this is like a nice little corner poster or something.
Yeah.
That's good. So let's look at this.
Don't worry. He'll hang it up on his wall. Don't worry. He will.
Yeah.
I'm not sure which location, but you'll hang it up on one of your walls.
So here's everything that comes with it. We reviewed all of the accessories and stuff, so I'm not gonna like
Yeah.
go with that. I'll just like show the figures. But that's the heads, the
The
body,
hands,
and
yeah.
the hands, yeah, the weapons.
Sometimes I think loyal subjects aren't supposed to be open. I think they're just supposed to stay in the box. I don't know, but sometimes I feel that way. Like when you open one of those and they just flop out, I always think, what's going to happen next? Are they just going to shatter? You know,
They make the best weapons ever.
right? Like I said, sometimes I feel like they should just be in the box.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So let's look at these things.
Is there any difference between any of them, like size wise? Or are they all the same?
I think these are just like different colors of the exact same things that were like the single release ones. So
Well, that's not what I mean. I mean like size difference, like it's wider or thicker or thinner than any of the other ones. Are they all the same size totals and height and everything? Or
well, I'm putting them out right now. So. A shot of the inside right there. So one of the things when we were talking about these turtles last year, or the original release of them, was the hands have no give, and
yeah,
apparently they don't have any give here either. Because look, I can try to move these
I
fingers,
see
but I'm
it.
just gonna break. I'm not even gonna try to break them.
So basically, what you're saying, they're just a repaint, pretty much. They're exactly the same one, just repainted.
They're tighter. They're tighter because the original release of these, they had their legs were a lot looser. These are a lot tighter, so that's
Okay.
good. Um, the legs are pinless, and again the elbows they have pins,
Yeah.
double double pin articulation there.
Well, see, there you go. Like what you just talking, cost rise. So once again, that's where the cost comes in. Is doing pins and no pins. Like you said, that's gonna cost different. So that's why you're paying so much normally in a store, comparatively speaking to a Ross.
Yeah, um, the feet are pretty tight. Like they don't want to give you a lot of rhythm. You might want to heat these up if you guys are buying them. Heat up the feet. The rest of the figure is fine, but the feet are pretty. Like I don't want to move Donnie too much because he doesn't want to bend into like I have to like I can get him to do that, but his like, I can't even see, but half of his foot
Yeah.
is in the air. It's just the posing of the top of the see.
Yeah. Well, I was watching a podcast probably about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, and the woman on there collects loyal subjects characters,
Yeah,
and she literally said on the podcast, I think it was God, whose podcast was it? It had Dan in it, but there was like five people talking.
yeah,
But anyway, she literally says, "I don't take my loyal subjects out of the boxes anymore." When she used to take them out, like a year later, they were like just fall apart. And I just thought to myself, "That's insane." But you know what? I could see it because if the room gets too hot or something,
yeah.
those joints could heat up and just start, loosening up or whatever. Did that just break?
No, no, you could take that top
Oh,
off.
I was gonna say that's just
It's a
that'd be
hand.
just the worst kind of like,
Yeah, it's not that.
yeah.
You know what's odd? Look, this is like technically two color schemes because you see all the black on these, and
Mm-hmm.
then this one is just all gray. Like, why would you switch styles like that? Because look, Leo has the same issue. Leo's black, black gloves and black boots, right?
Yeah.
Mikey's not.
Donnie's not.
Donnie's not. And I'll bring her out too. What the hell? Because she's supposed to be going with them anyways. Because this is supposed to be the team, right?
As far as I understand, yes.
Because the the original release of the IDW Turtles, they're all green. This is all like sort of the same color.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? That makes no sense. Like, why would you do two turtles have the black all over and then two don't? It's not like they don't even have the pads for it. I kind of want to paint the pads black now just to even everything out because it looks kind of stupid that because it's already a lot of gray here.
I
It's
see that. Yeah.
gray on gray on gray on gray, and you can barely tell the details. Just like here, she has a ton of detail in the sculpt. It's just like so much gray, like loses it because it's light shades of gray. It's not. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah. I do like the when like the ones with the black. They do look nice. Like that looks clean. The black boots,
Yeah.
the black gloves. That looks fine. And the red bandana really makes it jump out. We talked about the peg system here, and it's the same as before. Oh, here, this one. Funny enough, Leo comes with the swords already put on his, his
The
backpack.
Chiefs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so there's that, and yeah, that's basically the turtles. What did you think, buddy?
Well, okay. So honestly, you're right. I think they're unformed. You know what I mean? Like two of them have black wrappings on their feet and their wrist, and the other ones don't. I think that's kind of odd. Because like you said, the details are there, but they're not there. Um, Again, you got it for a good price though, so you didn't pay the over the top prices for them. So if you don't feel like you pay too much and you want to paint them, paint them. I think they would look better on a display that way.
Yeah,
But if you're just gonna put them back in the boxes and put them in a closet or underneath your bed or whatever you don't have space for, just leave them alone. You're not gonna see them anyways. And when you're ready to display them, then paint them.
yeah. All of the four turtles, the four main turtles, they're the all of their the back of their shells are all black, and you can really tell how nice the. Let me give you a shot here before we end this section of the show. 'Cause in black, the back of their shells really looks nice.
Yeah, I
Look,
will say
that
I
looks
see
pretty
it.
sweet. Yeah,
Yeah.
that looks pretty sweet. But here,
So
uh,
yeah, again, difference. But
yeah,
you know what I will say is the front of the shell, where the lines should be at, could have been darkened. They could have had like a dark line where the shells,
yeah.
you know,
For
just
which
to
one?
bring up,
Dark
just to
one?
the front side, just to get them a little more pop. Because when they're at a distance, it just looks like one piece.
Yeah.
It's
So
just one of those drawing techniques. You put that little darker line to accent the rest of the shell. But
yeah,
what do I know? I mean, I'm not the toy maker of the turtles here. That's loyal subject's job to make those decisions.
yeah, um, yeah. So if you guys get them, heat up the feet. Heat up the feet.
Yeah.
And we'll be back with some
We
news.
are back and ready to do the news.
Yeah. You know what? Since you were talking a little earlier about the shell shock reaction thing, that was the one news item I think I missed. So if you want, you could pull it up.
I can't pull it up on my computer, unfortunately. If I find it again on X, basically the guy had the photographs. It says what reaction figures are out and which ones you have, which ones you don't have, and those two are listed. And
Oh,
so I'm sure they'll be coming out soon because if it's listed on the Super 7 stuff and Lord Draken just dropped, so they got to make a reaction figure for him for sure.
yeah.
So
Oh, so right before we get into the news, I've been watching. I'm a fan of Chuck Lorre. He wrote the Ninja Turtles theme song. He's
mhm.
done a million TV shows. He's done The Big Bang Theory, Two and a Half Men, Mom. He was one of the big producers behind Mike and Molly. He's super, super successful guy, right?
Yeah.
But this is what I wanted to bring up. And it has nothing really to do with our show, but I figured it'd still be kind of like a cool thing to talk about for a minute. And I want to talk about TV shows taking a year off before they do their final year. You know, because
Okay.
like all of these long running shows, like Big Bang Theory or any TV shows, whatever you like, Cheers, Sabrina, the Netflix one, whatever the show you. What do you think about the idea of a long running show taking a year off and then doing their final year? Because I think it would make a world of difference.
I think it would make a difference, but at the same point, I think maybe, just maybe, it would make people. I don't know. I kind of conflicted on that one because at the same point, the show's ending. So you're excited to see what they're going to do to end the show. But at the
Yeah,
same point, waiting that year might kill out the thrill.
you
Be
think?
like, oh, the show's ending. But now we have all these new shows to watch in that new year. Oh, yeah, that show was ending. I almost forgot.
Yeah,
So it's kind of it's kind of like I understand the idea. It's a great idea. But at the same point, it's like maybe you'll forget about it if something new comes out that you like better.
yeah. I bring it up like, okay, because this is one of the shows of Chuck Lorre that I really like is Mom, right?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
It's this one, the one with Alice and Jenny.
Hmm.
This show and Anna Faris. This show is great. It's funny. It's like once they get rid of the kids after season 2, and they start bringing in Jamie Presley and like the lady from Third Rock from the Sun. I forget.
Yeah.
Like it really becomes like a female cast, just funny women. It's a very funny show about rehab and this and that. But like the reason I bring it up is also because this season, season 8, is where everything pretty much like got destroyed because this was a season that was being done during the pandemic. This season was done, so it had that against it. Plus, Anna Faris left the show, and she's the
Hmm.
lead of the show. This is the second lead, but you don't. I don't know. It's like you really handicap the show. Like you like cut it off at its knees by taking away one of the principal character. Like Big Bang Theory, it wouldn't work if you take out Leonard and just leave Sheldon,
Yeah. That's
right?
how they got Sheldon. Young Sheldon is doing that. And I didn't think that show was that great. But hey, some people loved it.
Yeah, but it's not Big Bang. It's supposed to be
No.
like a little kid growing up, and like he's a nerdy kid growing up,
Hmm.
basically.
Yeah.
It's different than Big Bang because Big Bang is like four nerds, and like it's a completely different setup to the show. But
Yeah. Four nerds, one hot girl, and
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But it's like the point of taking a year off, bringing it back. By the way, if you guys want to watch this show Mom, it's very funny. Up even
It
the
is funny.
yeah,
It is. I remember watching it when it first aired. Yeah.
even this season isn't bad. It's just got a giant hole of the star being gone. Like
Uh,
you know where they did horribly too, and they should have taken a year off was we're talking real sitcoms, by the way, everybody. That before we take it, because everything can't just be turtles and turtles, whatever, and Rangers or Mascara Fighters. But yeah, you always 2.5 Men, perfect example. 2.5 Men.
oh yeah, that one should have ended. Honestly, it should have
Oh, with
ended before the. It should have ended
the
when Charlie
Barbie.
died. Okay,
Yeah,
when Charlie died, it should have just ended. Honestly.
well, bro, right there. Look, I like 2.5 Men up until the last season with Charlie,
Yeah.
and then he died off screen, and then they came up with this whole weird thing of he got hit by a train and Porky Pig and all this other weird stuff. Bro, if the guy in real life had to go to rehab, let him go to rehab, and then we'll start again the year after.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's not like you're gonna destroy the show. This show, I mean,
Okay, so
I
I'm gonna retract my statement since we're talking about sitcoms that are
taking a year
comedies.
before doing your last one. Yeah,
Okay, sitcoms that are comedies, I think it's totally different. Okay, if you're talking about something like NYPD Blue, something that's in your face, something that's hardcore, fine. A year off probably wouldn't work for that. But something like Two and a Half Men, Mom, uh, Three's Company, let's go even old school, that would work. That would be okay because it's comedy. People love comedy. And when you go, oh, it's on hiatus for a year, that's an interesting word that doesn't get thrown around anymore. People go, oh, that really sucks. But when it comes back on, it's gonna be like, oh, that's awesome. Good example. That 70s show. It was off the air for the longest time. And when they did that 90s show, I think that's what they called it on Netflix or something. Everybody knew that casting crew was boom, they came right back, kinda. It kinda was kind of a flop.
Well, there's
But
one guy we won't talk about, but yeah,
yeah, it was kind of a flop, and I understand why, but the original cast was there and everybody loved it. You know,
yeah.
the original cast with their kids, and it's yeah.
Well, I think with that one, okay, specifically the that '70s show going into that '90s show, you basically had like a 20-year gap.
Hmm. But
Whatever,
again,
because this show was on in the early 2000s, and then it comes back in 2023 or whatever it was. So you had sort of a 20-year gap. You have enough break. It's 23 years.
yeah. But
I know
again,
that the mom
people
and dad look the same, but still, it's like you still had
but
a
that
pretty
but this is what you're
chunky break.
talking about though, kinda. Because people had a break from the show that loved the show, and when they found out that well, it's still Eric playing Eric, it's still, Ashton Kutcher playing his main character, and all those people are still coming back, even they were just for little cameos. Everybody wanted to see them again. Everybody loved those characters, so they wanted to
Yeah.
see them. So they flocked to Netflix and watched it until they realized what the show was about, and they were like, "Oh, okay."
Like from as a show creator or whatever, like taking a step back, I think one of the reasons that show flopped going into the second season because I think they ran out of money for advertising. Because the first season they advertised the hell out of it.
Oh,
Everybody wanted
yeah.
to see what it was. It was a massive success. I think it got like 27 million views in the first week, and then the second season it only got like 3.5 million or something. It was like ridiculously. I have to check the numbers again, but it was a complete like people knew about the first season. They didn't really know about a second season.
Well, okay, so if we're gonna talk about the
But
Netflix
that's
yeah,
advertising.
yeah.
That's
But
advertising.
Netflix algorithm is weird because if you think about it, even with something like Cobra Kai that I love to death, you heard about the first season, maybe even the second, but after that, it kind of disappeared. But people love the show so much, it's already on season 6.
Yeah,
So I guess it really depends on the fan base at that point. Like I said, I think there was something in that first season because I've only watched a few episodes of that '90s show
yeah,
that just kind of rubbed people the wrong way, or they might have saw it as, oh, it's just a remake of the '70s show with different kids,
yeah.
and
Well,
that's what it could have been,
it was. Yeah,
Well, it was, but I'm just saying that that can kind of turn people off that used to, be a young teenager going into adulthood watching that '70s show and going, I can relate to that, to get to being our age now and going, oh, I've already seen this. Why should I watch it again?
yeah. Well, I'll take it to a different show. You remember that show, The Office, with Steve Carell and whatever?
Yeah.
Okay, that show was huge when it was
Oh
hot, right?
yeah.
And then Steve Carell became ridiculously famous, so he wanted to leave the show. Fine, let him leave the show. Let everybody take a year off, and then we come back with Steve Carell to do the final season. You didn't need those seasons with what's his face, the skin, Ed Helms, trying to be a version of it, and then like that show really, really like destroyed Ed Helms' character. It built him up so well, and then it boom. Like I get it, you're
Yeah.
bored. You already told the story of Jim and Pam, but still, there was no need to destroy his character just because you're out of Steve Carell. I mean, I think
Yeah.
that would have been good because I mean, it's not the first sitcom actor that's gonna come in or take a break. I mean, another perfect example, Mike and Molly, Melissa McCarthy was huge when Mike and Molly came out. Like she became massively popular. Like she was in every single movie possible. Every funny comedy. Oh, she's the
Oh
awkward.
yeah.
Fine. I give her credit too because she somehow was able to like stick it out and finish out the last season of Mike and Molly. And I love Mike and Molly. I think it's hilarious because I like anything with Chuck Lorre, like I said. But if they would have taken a year off and then come back with the last season, that would have been great. Two and a
Oh, it
half,
would have been, yes.
2.5 men. If they would have taken off that break, you really didn't need those years with Ashton Kutcher in there, did you? Like,
I didn't find it funny, real. I found some of it funny, but most
yeah.
of it was just
I mean, it's
like
it's John Cryer trying to do the best he can, really.
I'm sorry, but if some new guy
Spontaneous.
moved in, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna go there. If some new guy moved into a house, he's not gonna let the other guy live there. He's gonna be like, get out of my house. and he'd do everything he can to get him out of the house. It wouldn't be, oh, well, I feel sorry for you because your brother. Well, no, no.
Yeah, and they take such a dark turn in that in 2.5 Men too, because technically, like with Ashton Kutcher coming in, he's committing suicide, and for some reason, John Cryer is trying to like throw the ashes of Charlie, and the ashes get in the mouth of Ashton Kutcher, and that's why Ashton Kutcher goes back in the house, and that's how you start. That's how you're gonna do it. Oh,
Yeah,
really, bro?
yeah.
That off the ashes of your dead brother, the other guy's gonna just come in, and then they look for any excuse for Ashton Kutcher to take his shirt off because he was in great shape back then. I'm sure he's still in
Uh,
great shape now, but
that's the thing
the eye
is
candy.
we got that was kind of his thing back then though. It's look at me, I'm a healthy bodybuilding looking supermodel type person,
He is a supermodel. He is
and
like does
and and
campaigns for modeling. He's a model.
and that's the thing is they wanted all their girls to go watch this show because Ashton was on and we're gonna make ratings. Back then it was just called ratings. Now it's all about views, but same thing, just different terms.
Yeah, but it was okay when that whole thing when Charlie and the whole breakdown. 2.5 Men. Excuse me. It was the #1 show in America. So it was.
Yes.
You remember it had like Super Bowl numbers. Like people were watching the hell out of that show. Even up until
I was one of
when
them. I love that show.
yeah, like when it was hot as hell.
Yeah.
The Office right before Steve Carell left, that was hot as hell too. Like
Mhm.
if you would have taken your year off and then organized everything, I think that would have made a big difference. I'm like you're saying, it's different when it comes to like NYPD Blue or any other dramas because those are
Yeah.
more episodic. They're not
Yeah.
as serialized. So like or like NCIS, like oh you have to catch the apist over and over, or the next
Yeah.
apist.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like oh the
I,
next killer, he's in the bush. Okay, it's
right.
formulaic to that.
I mean, I'm not even going deeper. They could actually do that with cartoons too. Cartoons that have been running forever, they could be doing that. Or a
You think
cartoon
they
that's
could take
such
it
a
up?
big name, they could take a year off to actually have a good final animation. You know, I mean, there's even
That'd be
adult
good for
cartoon.
the Simpsons, honestly.
There's
Since
even
we're talking
adult cartoons that were like on Adult Swim or the MTV. What was that called? Aqua something originally.
Aqua Teen,
Uh, yeah, they could have had all sorts of like instead of having oh well you're going off the air because your ratings are low. Okay, well how about if I get a year off so I can finish this story out better instead of going
yeah, let's
something.
push through whatever we can,
Because
and
I know
then
there's a lot of shows that I used to watch on like Adult Swim and stuff that just ended without an ending. You're just like,
yeah, the
okay, what
Boondocks,
happened?
Boondocks ended
Yeah,
abruptly, and I think the original creator like he left towards half of the last season, like he quit or he fired or I don't know what happened, but he left the show and somebody else finished out the show and it wasn't the same.
yeah,
The I go back to the mom thing because like this was during the pandemic. Everybody was had a million things on their mind besides just watching a comedy show. There was other comedy shows already. Like you could have given Anna Faris that year, but I think she was going through a like personal stuff. I could be totally wrong on this, okay? And I apologize if I am, but I think she was going through a divorce. Like I think she was divorcing Chris Pratt during that time, or something like that. Like she was going through a lot of stuff.
yeah.
That's the star of your show. You could give
You
him
know,
a year and then come back, bro. It's not a big deal.
you said something kind of interesting about the pandemic and having people still filming because even during that time, a lot of people stopped filming because they had to be quarantined or they had to be, you had to stay away from people so many feet, 6 feet away from somebody or some crap. I can't remember exactly, but
Yeah,
a lot of places just shut down the filming. Oh, we're done. You can't do the movies or anything like that until the
yeah. So
pandemic
much
is over with.
so they're moved over, and yeah,
Yeah. And then we had the strike, the
yeah,
filmmaker
yeah,
strike.
yeah. That's something.
And during that time, we had a guest on our show.
Yeah,
Yeah. So if you guys want to see that, I'm talking about the Mark Richardson episode. That's like one of our very first episodes. So we were just really not with the groove yet. We were just learning the groove, and it was kind of funny to have someone
yeah.
somewhat
Little
known on there.
like that. Yeah,
Yeah. So
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
go kind of bringing it back to Power Rangers because we have to get to the news real quick. Uh, I think this would have worked on our shows too. Like if you would have taken if Power Rangers was what it was, and you know the show's being canceled, let's take a year off and let's put this together. Let's because for everything, time has passed now. It's been about 2 years since Cosmic Fury, which is technically the end
Yeah.
of our timeline, whatever the 30 years. If you would have taken that year off and then come back with a much tighter story, bro, I'm sure you could have gotten at least 20 episodes instead of 10, and
Yeah. You know
replaced
what?
characters or something. Brought back
I
some more rest
yeah.
Rangers or something.
I love that Cosmic Fury. I really do. I just hate the ending because it's so open ended, like we've talked about before. Open ending, and it was such a loop where everybody's like, "Well, what came first, Cosmic Fury or Once and Always?" Because it was that big loop at the end that no one really explained. But anyways, we probably should get to the news. We could be
Yeah.
talking about TV shows and how they didn't end for hours. At least I can. So
Well, you know, the original Ninja Turtle run would have been a lot better. The Red Sky, if you would have taken a year off before you did the final Red Sky, because they ran out of gas too. Remember they had the second mutations where they turned into like the Hulk with like
yeah,
metal pieces, and the last year was like take a year off. But let's get cracking on some news here because we're about at an hour in. Uh, so we'll start with this with the Ninja Turtles, a remastered. There's three new remasters that are coming:
hmm
Shredder, Rocksteady, and Ronin Wrath or Armored.
yes.
Why don't you start us off with that, buddy?
Well, the Armor Wrath is just basically the last Ronin in a different format. And I think it looks great. It's not something I'm going to be collecting. Now, when it comes to the Shredder, yes, it's very basic, very old school Playmates, but it's a remastered version. Of course, it's going to be basic. And yes, I will be picking that one up. And yes, I will do a review on that one.
Yeah,
And for same thing with the Bebop and Rocksteady and all the other ones that come out that are gone for the main remastered, and not like the add-ons. Everybody knows DTV83 over here don't doesn't really do repaints or doesn't do like add-on characters that not on the main line. You know, for like stuff that's supposed to be special, like the remasters and stuff. You know, I just want the main core. Um, unless they bring out something really cool, like I don't know, like April O'Neil in half cat form or something, you know, like from the cartoon where she turned into a cat mutant. Something like that I would collect because it's just different. I don't think anybody's actually ever done it. But I think the remaster line is actually fantastic.
yeah,
There
you know,
is two more things that are coming out for that line too.
yeah, but
That's yeah.
just like on the figure section right now.
hmm
So, uh, okay, so we knew Shredder and Rocksteady were coming. That was
hmm
revealed at New York like 8 months ago. So
Something like that. Yeah.
we knew those were coming. The surprise here is Raph, the
Yes.
Ronin Raph or the whatever armored Raph.
Armored Draft, as they call them. Yeah.
It's interesting because it doesn't go with anything.
No.
By that I mean like if you look at that Raph and then you remember the Ronin Playmates Ronin that they did about a year and a half ago
hmm
that had all the black wash on it. It doesn't look like
Yeah.
it goes with it either.
No, because the last runner should be Michelangelo, anyways.
No,
But
like style wise, like
oh yeah,
head
yeah.
proportions, like because that last Ronin one, I might get it and we might do a review on it one as an episode one day or something. But like it's not on the top of my list or anything. The arms look super long in all of the promo pictures. It looks like it's got heavy black wash on it for some reason, and it
Yeah.
doesn't need it because I don't know if you've seen these, but like they've had it already out for like 2 3 years. The pop they did the last Ronin figure,
Oh yeah, I seen
pretty clean.
that. Yeah.
It's not proportionally right, but as far as like the look, it looks clean, right?
Yeah.
It looks clean. Credits to NECA when NECA's doing all Last Ronin. They're supposed to be like one for one. Like this is the comic. This is exactly what it's supposed to be. They did a great job there too. I mean, there's that, but like the Playmates last run that they did, it looked it looked weird and odd, and I thought it was just a one off. And now that you're coming back to it, like almost 2 years later, and doing a second character with a completely different wash too, because it doesn't look like it goes with the same thing, and it's made by the same
No.
company, and if it's made by the same scale, like the okay, here's another thing. The last Ronin Raph here, whatever the armored one, he's got he's got a new head. That head doesn't look like the screen accurate.
Um,
The cartoon, whatever the comic booky, he doesn't look
yeah, I
comic.
know. I know.
The outfit, yeah, he's wearing the outfit of the last Ronin Raph, fine, but the head, I like the sculpt. I'm if I see it for like 12, $13, yeah, I'm gonna get it too, no problem.
Yeah.
But it doesn't like it doesn't seem like it goes with anything. And another thing to this, I think it's worth mentioning. We're doing remastered now, and last year everybody was freaking out because the turtles had the texture on their skin, the remastered turtles. So you're doing this one. This one doesn't seem to have any of that texture issues, right? It
No,
just looks
I
like a
mean,
regular turtle.
yeah, and I don't see any texture on Rocksteady at all.
Yeah, it just has its regular like rhino skinish looking, but it
And
doesn't go so hard.
yeah, I'm kind of wondering if that's because people had a backflash on the texture. I mean, if somebody goes, well, too much of a backflash, they would go, now let's just put that to the side. People bitch too much about it.
I want to see more images too because you look at that Rocksteady and it looks like it's not going to be able to stand because it looks so top heavy and the legs are so thin.
Yeah.
But it could just be a bad angle, just like the face. You only see like a corner of one of the eyes. You don't see the straight up or the profile picture. You don't. I need more pictures. I need more data on that Rocksteady.
Well, I do know like the Mutant Mayhem Rocksteady. Oh my god, that thing has a big ass head. Sorry, my language, but
Yeah,
it stands up perfectly fine.
yeah,
So I don't know if there's some kind of like balance thing they do with them
yeah.
or what,
The
but
engineering of the weight,
yeah,
so it's not heavy because those are that Rocksteady has some stubby ass legs.
yeah,
They're like this, and then the head is like this big.
yeah, exactly.
It's you know who the I like Bebop's design better because Bebop seems just like a fat pig, like a
Hmm.
fat warthog, and that. But like proportionally speaking, everything like okay, this is the head, this is the body. He's a little fat, but like that he's a pig, so it's like it's cool for that. That's kind of its,
Yeah.
but so getting back to this, the to kind of wrap on the last Ronin thing. Do you think we're gonna get the other two brothers? Or is this like a different line, or they're just like testing the waters again, or because this the oddball here is Raph, right?
Yeah.
Because we knew
I
Rocksteady and Shredder were coming.
I don't want to say yes or no to that because they could just be considering this a different design for RAF. Here's a remastered. Well, I don't know whether
It's
I mean,
odd, right?
okay,
It's
it is
odd.
odd
Like,
because I don't know if they're even going to call that armored RAF part of the remaster line or not. But they didn't really specify that on the article that we saw together. So that could have just been a one-off for a different part of the line or a different line altogether. And they just didn't know the difference between those two and that one. So I'm not too sure
yeah.
what it's really considered.
Here's the last thing, and I saw some other people talking about this, and it kind of like jumps at you. The last Ronin Raph, he's got double articulation. He's got more articulation than the remastered ones because
Okay, so
he's got double elbow bends. So he bends here and then he bends again.
uh-huh.
He's also got double knee bends. Shredder and Rocksteady don't. They just have the regular one
Yeah.
kind of
The,
like
the
Super
re-
Seven,
so I'm gonna probably say that it's not a remastered then. It's probably some kind of newer collector line.
like another subline or
The other sub line, yeah, like, oh, we're gonna try to make a collector line of turtles. Let's see how this one does.
yeah,
You know, see if people are gonna buy it or not.
yeah. It's funny too because a lot of people are comparing this line to the Motu Origins line, right?
Yeah.
But there's it's really unfair because you can reuse the body so many times with Motu. You can't really do that with the turtles. Rocksteady's
No.
body doesn't look anything like Leonardo's body, or Shredder's body doesn't look like April's or Splinter, or Crane really like because he's in a bubble walker. Well, you have to make a brand new thing. You can't use anything of Krang for any other figure but Krang.
Yeah.
So here's hoping that line keeps going too. If you're gonna do it, keep going. I
Well, I
I,
think
I love them to keep going, bro.
yeah. Well, one of the things I haven't seen yet is the original sketch turtles line continue. Because they're supposed to have a Shredder and a Bebop, and it hasn't come up at all. So, and that's kind of sad because I kind of want an original sketch Shredder. I kind of like the
I
design.
want to see that Bebop drawing look good, so I
Yeah.
want to see them turn that into a figure. That'd be cool too. I mean, you know what would be great, but I don't know if they're actually gonna do it. Is if they do like Street Sharks did last year for San Diego and just like release 3 waves all in one. Freaking because remember they released like 14 figures.
Yeah.
Here, this is what we're doing for Street Sharks. All right, give me something like
Awesome.
that for Turtles. Even if I have to wait a year to flesh it out, fine. But
Right? Yeah.
bring it out. You know, that'd be cool. Uh, let's move on because I think we nailed that point there. Well, at least for now, until we get
Oh
more.
yeah.
Then,
More info.
oh yeah, we'll circle that. The next item, I sent you a picture. I don't know if you can bring it up because it's connected to this.
I think I can. Are you talking about the
The
red guy? The red
yeah
guy?
yeah
Okay.
yeah the
Yeah. Give me a second. Oh, go ahead. You can
yeah okay.
start now.
So people are starting to get the Super Seven Ultimates Lord Draken figure,
Yes.
and it is very similar to this. That's why I even did like a couple of notes here on the articulation and what this figure looks like. This is the Legacy version, by the way. So I think the only thing that it doesn't have is the ball joint that connects to the thigh to open out. But
Yeah.
but except for that, and the hand that has a little ball, but except for that, it's pretty similar. It's got like the Lord Draken. It's much thicker. It's a brand new sculpt.
Yes. Because Lord
I
Draken's
saw
a thick
somebody
guy.
I don't know if you saw this MCG collector or something. I believe it was.
I have not watched anybody review
Yeah,
that yet because I'm just not interested in the character. I've said it
yeah,
before.
but it's
I
a
have
different
the
sculpt.
yeah, like I said it before. I have the Lightning Collection one. I'm happy with it.
Yeah, it's borrowing a lot from here. That was my point as far as
Oh
like
yeah,
points, and I didn't hate this, but I don't know. For those that collect the Super Seven, the Ultimates, it's interesting because if you did Lord Draken, you can reuse that body for other things. So does that mean we're going to get updated Red Ranger, the other six, and you're just going to stay there, or are you going to release more monsters? What's Super Seven going to do with the Ultimates? You know?
well, I don't think they're gonna redo the Power Rangers thicker because um
At least the boys or something.
I don't think so because even in the comic books he was a thick guy because he was overpowered. Where the other Rangers are still thinner in the comic books.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, even in the video game that I have for the Switch, he's much thicker than that, and all the Rangers are thin little sticks. You
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
so so it matches up. I mean, it will match up to what people are used to.
Yeah. I saw one image of the Lord Draken next to a regular Green Ranger one, and I'm like, wow, that is completely different. That is not using
Mhm.
any of the same sculpt. I wouldn't mind it. I like this new sculpt. I'll say that. I like the Lord Draken body a lot more than the regular Rangers.
Yeah.
A lot because it goes borrowing a lot from here, and I like the legacy here. So that'd be interesting. I'd like to see more, like somebody do a review next to this actual figure to see how different or how similar it is to it. You know,
Well, you know what? Now it's time for you to go buy a Super Seven.
uh, I got King Spinks for $20, and we'll see what happens in the future. But
Well, see, there you go. That's what I was thinking too. Is like I have everything I need, but I'll see if Broken Skull goes on sale soon or Lord Draken because you never know.
Yeah,
I
I might get Goldar if I see him for $20 or like the putties for $20, but I'm not gonna be spending $55
well,
on
Gordo's worth the money no matter what, in my opinion.
that. I got
He is one bad bad guy. Let's
yeah,
just I'm gonna keep my mouth a little cleaner. Um, even in that, you got everything you need: the rings, the note rings, the little stubs. You got two heads that are different. You got a very highly detailed sword.
yeah,
And I remember the Lightning collection getting compared to this guy because like people would say, "Oh, I have to buy two different Goldars just to get the one Goldar that I want." I'm like, wow. Because you got the GameStop version of the Lightning collection, and then you got the regular version, and one had wings, one didn't have wings, and yeah,
yeah.
one had a better sword than the other one. It was like, okay,
One has a deeper gold wash
yeah, that too.
because I have the GameStop one, which is like it was readily available. It's not like it stayed at GameStop. They made a lot
Yeah.
of that gold art.
Hmm.
Then the regular release one didn't have the big wings. It just had like the clip wings.
Yeah, the stubs, yeah.
Yeah,
The way
those.
Rita took them away from him, and Lord Zed gave them back. Yeah.
Yeah. So next news item is uh, the Last Ronin is getting a 4 pack of pop figures. Like 'cause it's the Ghost pack, so
Oh yeah, yeah, I've seen that.
it's one Last Ronin and then three Ghost Brothers.
Hmm.
As
I think
it's a
that's
4 pack. I think
I
it's
think
nine.
that's awesome. I
Yeah,
think that is awesome, and I really wish someone else would do that. That's not Funko Pop because I do not collect Funko Pops. They just sit somewhere I don't even care about. I used to have one, and I was just like, it's a Funko Pop. It looks kind of funny, but I like the idea of having the last Ronin with the Ghost Brothers
yeah.
because that's what the story is about, really.
Dude, I think they did a better like the pop. I think that is a better interpretation than the NECA one because the NECA's doing Ghost Brothers right now. Like from the renders I've seen of NECA's Ghost Brothers, I think Pop outdid them
Okay.
because
Well,
that's what it's supposed to be, right? They're supposed to be ghosts. They're not supposed to be translucent versions of it. It's supposed to be that light bluish teal color and the regular Last Ronin figure. But that could be me. I don't know.
well,
Just
if
just
they if
seems
they're
very like this is the drawing, this is the toy,
yeah.
this is what it's supposed to be.
Well, if it's translucent, I think that's actually kind of cool because they're supposed to be ghost. I get the concept. You know.
Yeah, yeah. So next news item. This is probably something you're into. The Heat Boys. They just started releasing renders for the Shredder mech.
I should
Where
have.
Heat Boys does the mechanized turtles.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not into that really.
Yeah, they're releasing Shredder, or
That
they're releasing the renders for Shredder.
I like the way they look, but God, they're so expensive, and it's like a heavy ass statue basically, and I'm good.
Yeah, the tentative price is $179.99. That's the
Yeah.
tentative price. I don't think that's the final one, but that's currently what's priced at. Next news item: Pop, the Funkos. They're releasing the Last Ronin, Leo, Donnie, and Raph. The regular versions. They're
Okay.
like single released. And there's a Leonardo variant, and there's also a Ronin deluxe one that comes with like half a wall, like a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. There's that. Next news item. Now, something I'm excited for. Both of these things, and we'll put them together here. Playmates is re-releasing the Sewer Layer and the Mutant Modular, and
Yes, they are.
now we're starting to get some renders for it. What you think, man?
Well, I think it's a great idea, especially the sewer layer, because then you can finally finish off your connection to the Technodrome. Uh, but I say this now that it's awesome, but certain people are going to be waiting 6 months, a year before getting it because that's going to happen just like the Technodrome. It's going to go up on whatever website and it's going to be sold out in a matter of minutes. You
Yeah,
know, it's just
it
the
took
way
a
it is.
while to get mine, and
Yeah.
it took me a while, you know. So I'm getting both of these things for sure. I'm getting the Sewer Layer because I need a complete Sewer Layer, and the Moon Modular I never had it, so let's like
Yeah.
they got me for both. That's it. They got me for both. Here's a little question for you. What's next? Because you're doing the you did the technodrome, you did the sewer layer. So what do we do now? What's the next thing for next year? Because I don't think they're gonna release another playset after the sewer layer.
Well, they have two options in my mind. They could do the April O'Neil van, because
Okay,
as far as I know, they haven't done that
that,
one,
that's possible.
or they can do a actual Android crane.
What, like
The
re-releasing
body, they
the original one, the
yeah,
one
the
that
original
kept
big one, the big crane, with
yeah,
the body Android.
yeah.
Yeah,
You think we get another playset, or yeah, we're done with the playsets because we got the original two now or
I
whatever.
I think the
The
original
core,
choose.
you can
I
have
think
a
the
good version.
core is what they're really looking for more than anything else.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd like them to try to do other stuff because that's always interesting to see them do more. Like they just showed they're gonna be re-releasing the military tools, which is
yeah,
weird. I didn't think those were that popular, but apparently they are. Or it could just be like the molds are still like good, so they're like, the molds are still working, so let's pump them out again. Because if you don't have to spend money, that's great. Anywhere, I think you still would make a dojo because even if you make like a Foot Clan dojo, that'd be cool. If you wanted to do that, if you wanted to create your own Karai and then bring her along and put her in the dojo, make her an exclusive, and then next year you can release Karai as a single release for people
yeah.
that don't collect the dojo, but you still have another version of it. I don't know. I think it kind of makes. I mean, it is a show about ninjas, so why wouldn't you make a dojo anyways? I
That
think it
makes
would
sense.
fit in
Yeah.
a lot of ways. You can because what would be the next? I mean, you're not gonna make an entire playset for the Rat King. That
No,
doesn't make any sense. You're not gonna make a an entire playset for the Punk Frogs. You're not gonna make Dimension X. So, like, I think the dojo thing would be the next. It'd be simple enough, you know.
they could actually do the Neutrinos car with the
Yeah,
actual three Neutrinos in it, or at least next to it, whatever. I
yeah,
actually still own that. I should really bring some of these things out just to show you guys, but not tonight because it's getting kind of late for recording.
yeah,
Should do some of this ahead of time, like plan some of this out. But it always happens this way. You think about something, you like, we should do it this way to just, yeah. So maybe next time I'll grab out the few items that I still have that are big, that
yeah,
are just finally getting re-released too. I find it funny, honestly.
yeah. You know what you could do it. You would call it the Foot Training Center
There you go.
because it's not the Technodrome and it's not the Sword Layer, but it's still a playset and it's still something you would use. And it give
Yeah,
you another reason to go back to the foot soldiers. They're the army builders, and they're the ones that you're going to buy multiples of anyway. So just give you more reason to buy more.
yeah,
That's another thing I think they Super Seven is actually smart because they're doing they just released their last Ultimates wave and it has like a battle damage foot soldier. I think Playmates should look into the idea of making something like that, making battle damage foot soldiers, releasing different standing foot soldiers.
it wouldn't be a bad idea. I mean, they already know how to do it because I have the Mutant Mayhem battle damage characters, and they did a beautiful job on that. So
Yeah,
they could do it with the foot soldiers. I mean, it would have to be a little different because if they're doing the cartoon versions of it, they would have to be robotic. So it'd be a little bit different, but they still could do it.
yeah, because I don't think Playmates would try to do a Channel Six playset. I don't think they would.
No, but you know what would be cool to have, and
That's the
we
only
know,
other set, right?
yeah. Do you remember the builder figures? Like you have pieces, like you could put them together,
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
like
Everybody
make
likes
a
that.
Now listen to me, playmates, and listen. This would be awesome. Is have a builder figure foot soldier. So have like some kind of device that will actually put them together, and you have like different color, bottoms, different colored tops, and you can mix them up and be like, there you go. But it would be a machine type thing. They would and connect it, and the door would open. That would be awesome. It's kind of cheesy, but it'd be awesome. And there'd be actual foot soldiers, and they'd just be connected magnetic or by a peg or something when you put them together. I don't know how you would do it, but
Yeah, that'd be cool.
yeah.
I gave this idea out last year when we were talking about the next mutation. I think, and I still think it's a good idea. You should make a female foot soldier.
Yeah.
Period. You're gonna sell. You already sell the boy version. Why not sell the girl version? It just doesn't.
Oh, that's what Jellica was. Jellica was a somewhat foot soldier before she was mutated.
Yeah. I
She
mean,
was
the
a
body's
human.
skinny, so you're gonna
Yeah.
shoot for the pieces anyways. It's not like if you make a female foot soldier, hypothetically speaking, you have to make a new head, new chest, a new crotch area. But as far as like legs and arms, you're gonna reuse those legs and arms
Oh
pretty.
yeah.
But that'd be cool to see. I mean, that's something. On a little side thing for just for a second, I really hope that Playmates this year starts cracking open with the next mutation re-releases, bro. 'Cause
That would be
I want a
interesting.
clean version of Leo and Shredder and Venus and
Well, they just started the
a re-release
2000.
of the classics.
Yeah. Well, they just released. I believe it's the 2012 totals. They just started doing again.
Yeah,
So
they got.
that's interesting.
I mean, they're kind of opening the door to all of these other things too, which is I think going back to our first news item of Shredder and the Armored Raph. If you're gonna start playing with things, maybe that would be a good idea. Like, oh, we're gonna make a Venus in the remastered Sky, because if that's gonna be the new thing, if that's
Yeah.
gonna be the big bread and butter of the new show, bringing back this vintage aesthetic to the new articulation, that'd be cool to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if they brought out a Venus was the same height of the remasters, I'd buy one just to say I have one because it's kind of nostalgia for me, really, the Venus thing. Even though I really did not care for the show, it's still Venus. It's the original girl turtle, before
Yeah.
Angelica ever was made. So,
I wonder what the rights are for the next mutation as far as the bad guys, because with the toy line they only did Dragon Lord and Shredder and like a Foot Elite, a rank, but I don't know if Hasbro owns the copyright to that show or who would have you know free license to do it. Because if you do next mutation re-releases of Playmates, you could legally speaking, I think you could be all right releasing the Shredder, the Turtles, Splinter,
I might be
Dragon
lost here. Sorry, I might be lost. Why would Hasbro own the rights to the Turtles?
because they own Power Rangers.
Yeah, but Power Rangers is a different license than the
Yeah,
Turtles.
but it falls under the next mutation show. The characters wouldn't they still be under? I mean, we
Mm-mm.
saw some of them on the Heritage last year, the Heritage auctions. They were
I,
still
I,
under
I,
the warehouses of Power Rangers. So
well, yeah, they were in the warehouse. I think they bought the warehouse, Hasbro, but I don't think they're under the same license because
somebody
because
close enough.
Nickelodeon owns the Turtle license.
Yeah, but
So I
that's
don't think
what
Hasbro owns
it
them.
falls into because it was a co-production with Saban, with Power Rangers, it
Yeah,
wasn't a standalone show. Like the 2012 show, it's 100% there.
yeah,
For them, but
yeah.
I
I
guess
don't know. It'd be something to look into, honestly, because I don't really think they own. I don't think they own the rights to that. Just like I don't think they own the rights to VR Troopers, but you never know.
that you just reminded me of something I saw the other day, uh, but I didn't see too much of it. They're bringing in VR troopers into the comics of Power Rangers.
Yes, yes. Power Rangers Prime, the very first episode, very first comic book episode.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the main guy is VR Trooper dude. He is
Ryan
the
Steele.
guy. Yeah, Ryan Steele. He is the Power Ranger Prime is something really odd. And I don't even really want to read it because what I've heard about it is basically Power Rangers are outlawed, and Ryan Steele's kind of like the main guy. It's kind of a weird story, and I'm not really
Is
feeling
he like
even.
the sheriff of the Power Rangers or something? Like,
No, no, no. He's not even the chef. It's just like I don't even know how to explain it. You can watch people talk about it, but it's just doesn't even like feel right to me. Like why? It should have just been called a VR Troopers. Like it should have been its own thing.
oh, it's not called. He's not called the VR Trooper Ryan Steele. He's called something else.
No, I think it
Oh,
is
it's the
still a
cops.
V. It's still yeah, he's a cop in the show, but I think he still has his VR Trooper uniform. I don't know how I explain it well enough, but all I know is
Yeah,
it just
we'll
when I
circle
heard
back.
about it,
That,
I just thought it was stupid.
yeah, we'll circle back with that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, and the last thing I'll say that as far as like play sets, I guess if you wanted to do like Dimension X, you'd have to make it like a volcano or something where all the rock monsters live. If you wanted to make a third playset, like, oh, this is
Yeah.
a version of Dimension X, but it's like a lava pit or something, or some sort of like volcano where all the rock monsters live. I mean, just to get something out there, because like I said, now that the main two are done, you have to do more. It's kind of like with Masters of the Universe. You already did Castle Grayskull and you already did Snake Mountain. Okay, so now you have to do Eternia. You have to come up with other things. So,
Yeah.
but getting back to this new stuff, Playmates is going to be at Toy Fair. So that's either February or March. But the question here is: do they release Power Rangers? Do they release Ninja Turtles? What's your thoughts there of Playmates? Because that's the next big show, Toy Fair.
Okay, so Playmates has already announced that Power Rangers are coming out in 2025. So this would be the perfect opportunity for them to promote Power Rangers. It's the perfect opportunity to promote the total lines that are coming out for the first person to see or the people to see the products. Like this would be the perfect time to show the sewer layer connected to the Technodrome to show that it actually still does it. Perfect time to show people, Bebop, Rocksteady in the different forms, the Shredders in different forms. It would be the perfect opportunity. I think they're gonna do something like that for Power Rangers, even if it's just one Ranger or one prop, role playing prop for the kids or something. I think it's gonna be there. I think the total thing is gonna be there, and I think some of their other lines that they're working on is gonna be there. I think Playmates. This is Playmates' year for the toys. I think Hasbro's years have already gone and passed, but I think Playmates is going to be the main key this year.
That's true because they have two of the biggest toy licenses in the world. You have Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
You need to come out really strong. People are
Oh, yeah.
looking at you, and you've had enough time with both licenses to come out with something really impressive.
I mean, because honestly, Comic Con was a flop in my opinion. With them just announcing what they announced by photos isn't enough to go. This was coming out. Everybody's like, "Yeah, oh wait, that's all you have for us." I mean, even I did that when I realized that was all they had. And I got lucky enough to talk to someone that actually went to Comic Con to get some of these photos from him. So, yeah.
Yeah. Um, moving on. So the Mutant Mayhem slash Tales of the Turtles toy line is getting more robot release. So more character robots are coming.
Hmm.
I couldn't tell you specifically which is which, just because I don't like I follow it, but I'm not that close to it. But
You,
I
you
know
know,
there's new stuff,
it's
new
funny
robots.
to me. It's funny to me that they're releasing two lines at the same time. Like they're still releasing Mutant Mayhem line and then the Tells line. And honestly, they really need to cut off Mutant Mayhem. They just really need to cut that line off. They still have April coming out, but
Yeah,
after whatever's the left of the Mutant Mayhem, I mean they've already done Superfly and Ultra Fly and the Baby Fly. I don't know what else they can really release from Mutant Mayhem unless they're gonna start doing humans, but that'd be making no sense. They've also done the Bebop and Rocksteady as a baby. They've done the Turtles
but
as
the
babies,
rest of the babies are missing because we did see. I think they did like all eight of the main characters in baby forms.
originally, yeah.
So we have
But
seen images for like baby Scumbug and this and
mhm.
that. But they
but
only released the four turtles, Rocksteady and Bebop, and I think the two pack
super
that came with Superfly and
uh
Superfly. Yep. But
and that Superfly is different than the original Superfly. It's kind of funny. Yeah.
yeah, I don't remember if they did like a baby version of Ray Fillet, but I'm
They
sure there's more. There's
they had
one
the
thinking of.
prototypes
Yeah,
a while back, but I haven't seen them being released. But again, I'm just saying that Mutant Mayhem needs to be cut off. Keep what the tells for now until Mutant Mayhem 2 or Tales of the Turtles, the movie comes out or whatever the heck they're gonna call it, and then go with it.
yeah. Uh, Here's another news item. So we're pretty close to when people are going to start getting their first editions of the 2003 Super 7 Turtles.
Mm.
I wanted to get your like final thoughts on it because yeah, by the time we do our next episode, people will start getting them. So, your
Yep.
last words on the Ultimates 2003 Ninja Turtles.
They need help. I think I like the idea that the brand new sculpt. They have double articulation. They have just I think they look awesome, but they're not ultimate, and they'll never be ultimate. They don't have enough stuff to go with them.
Yeah,
And I cannot believe people paid that price for these turtles because if you look back in time when turtles used to get a lot of stuff in those packages, that was ultimate. Now it's they could have just called these the deluxe and be good with it because that's what it feels like. It feels more like a deluxe line than an ultimate line. I'm sorry, guys. I know you guys love these turtles 2003s and you guys have been excited about them, but I can't stand behind it because it's not ultimate. These ultimates aren't ultimate anymore. They're just higher price deluxe figures.
yeah. Donnie gets one staff.
Like I said, they're not ultimate. I don't know what they're thinking. They need to go back to the way they used to be. Think about it. I mean, they really should just go, okay, well, they came with, I mean, Playmates 2003 totals still come more than what these ones. And you can buy the 2003 Playmates right now at Walmart. So it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. That's true. I mean, you hit the nail on the head. There's not much more to say. Am I interested in them? Maybe in the future, but that's not what I signed up for. I signed up for the Playmates reimagining, which is the Ultimates. You're. This isn't what I want. It's not that
Mm-mm.
I hate it, but it's like I
Well,
ordered.
that
I ordered a cheeseburger. You
yeah,
bring me macaroni. I like
yeah.
macaroni. It's just I ordered a cheeseburger. I thought we
Well,
were going one way and you go another. And
also, you brought up a good point. It's just like me, I got into the Power Ranger line because I wanted to collect the old fashioned Power Rangers that I used to have as a kid from Bandai. But now they're bringing out Lord Draken, but they're still missing some core people out of the show. And even I've even seen comments where people are commenting, even on when they saw the glow in the dark reaction figure, the Megazord, they're like, when are you gonna bring out Squad and Bamboo? When are you gonna bring out Scorpino? When are you gonna bring out this character, that character? They like the ideas of having these new characters, but they still want the rest of the team, the rest of the core packages. And I understand that. And again, just like the Turtles, they've kind of dropped the ball. Oh, we're gonna focus more on this all of a sudden. It's like, why?
yeah,
You know.
yeah.
Uh,
So
I
we
mean,
did
I
an
don't.
entire episode last year just devoted to this. I just figured it'd be cool to kind of give our closing
Yeah.
thoughts. Yeah, it'll be coming out so soon. So
Well, I
hopefully,
will. I will say this: I don't mind Super Seven going off the beaten path, but as a collector, as you're a collector of turtles, and I'm a collector of a few other things, they need to finish out what they started, and it doesn't seem like they like to finish anything. And I hate to say that because I love you, Super Seven. I love you to death. I love what you do. I love the interviews that I see and everything. But finish the damn things. Finish the
not this
goddamn
ending
things.
episode.
You know, Fin-
Great job, guys.
right?
Sorry, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Finish what you started,
Yeah,
as what people used to say. You started this, now you got to finish it. Because I can't finish it for you. If I could, I would. But you won't hire me. So,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So me, I it feels like maybe it's just a different direction they want to go into because they gave you so much with the original release of Ultimates Turtles, and maybe they just put a different artist there and they put different packaging and different this and they just don't want to go in that same direction, and that's it is their company. They can do whatever the hell they
Yeah.
want.
Well, on that note, let's put it this way.
If it's a
Eh,
different direction they want to go
Yeah.
to try to like correct the what they're doing, I I personally think it's a dangerous game because you're you're pissing off your core fan base to make another fan base.
Yep.
Like you're
Yes,
not
you
winning
are.
one to you know what I mean? Like you're getting rid of. you're getting rid of one problem to start another problem.
Hmm.
Because if you're now that you're doing double articulation, you're gonna have people on there. Oh my god, people have been whining and complaining about double articulation for so long. Now that you get it, if it turns out to be garbage, and then you want to go back to single articulation, then what did you do? Nothing.
Yeah,
And
absolutely
you
nothing.
yeah, and you completely switch themes because you're not doing the playmates anymore. Now you're doing the the 2003 or the 2003 don't sell, and you've already promised a second wave of 2003. Remember that there's a second wave of this with Casey and Shredder and whatever coming there. So you've kind of already teased that.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be cool for them to. I don't. There's a million ways they can go, but if you can't do exactly any more playmates, bro, at least come out there and at least, bro, let me know where we're going. It's not that hard.
Hmm.
Okay, it's not like I hate Ninja Turtle. Shit, we do a show about them, so it's not
Yeah.
our the fan base isn't there, but it's odd too because their two biggest and we've said it before in other shows. Their two biggest successes are Thundercats and Ninja Turtles. Why would you mess with Ninja Turtles this hard? I know some of them go clearance and whatever, but every toy line gets clearance. It's not like you're gonna sell everything for the exact same price forever. You know?
Yeah.
So I was like, I'd really enjoy for them to come out and at least make a definitive statement on what the turtles are, because it feels odd that they do this. You know, and that's kind of my closing thoughts there. The next little news item is the loyal subjects. Raph on a bike. He's be becoming readily available at Ross and DD's and Bird Eyes and things like that, and you know places like that. So, and the final news item for today, the final topic, if you will, and I'll let you start here because this is sort of like the elephant in the room. Power Rangers and I figured I save it for last so we can whatever you want to say. Power Rangers reignition. What do you think, bro? Because this is
Well, okay. So
Power Rangers reignition. Go.
first off, I think the name is stupid. If it's just a reboot line of the original Saban Bandai years, it is the most ignorant name ever, in my opinion. If it's based around a new show, that's fine. But this is just a remastered line from, well, not remastered, but a new line from Playmates. They could have just called it Power Rangers from Playmates, and people would know what the hell they're talking about. They didn't need to have a weird name with it, uh, unless it's supposed to be a collector's line, and that's fine. But they could have done better, really, and it doesn't have a good flow. It doesn't flow. You know, everything has to have a flow. If you called He-Man It Man, it doesn't seem right. It's like what the heck's an It Man? You know, because it almost sounds too much
You hit.
closer to Hitman, you know?
You hit.
So, yeah. I just don't think the name's good for the toy line.
Yeah, yeah. I agree with you. You're right. When I first saw this, I was like, that can't be. You messaged me and I was like, that can't be the name of it, or like it sounds like a hip hop song of a guy we can't talk about anymore because he's a monster. But like, the point is like that. Why would you call it reignition? Like
But, you know,
what?
I have
This
heard
ain't
people.
RPM. This is
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Mighty Morphin. This doesn't make any sense at all. Like
Well, see, that's the thing. I've heard people joking about, oh, okay, it's reignition. Is it going to be first starting out with Turbo then? Is it going to start out with RPM? Is it going to start out with, Go Go 5 or, whatever? You know, it's
wonder
funny
who.
because
Yeah,
it's not, they're hitting the wrong words. And it could have been so simple to saying Mighty Morphin Power Rangers remastered, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers reimagined. Something, something easy, something simple that makes more sense instead of, trying to make this fancy extra name on it that doesn't need to be there.
yeah. You know, I would have called it like something that makes more sense. Like I would have called it the Morphin Grid edition, or just call it the Grid. Oh, the Grid collection, because the
I got
Morphin Grid you pull up from
yeah,
the
yeah.
movie. You know,
Or even something really out of the box, weird, but something that still makes sense. The Zordon years, you know.
yeah, you could
It,
go you go in timelines like, oh, this is the Zordon years. This is the Earth years. You know, with like Lightspeed Rescue
mhm,
and RPM or whatever stuff like that.
yeah.
There's a million, bro. Reignition. That's oh my god.
Doesn't
Wow.
sound right. It doesn't sound right.
We're gonna reignite. It's cute as a sentence because it sounds cool to say we're gonna reignite the Power Rangers brand. Fine,
Yeah.
that's good. That's a good sentence. It's not a good brand name. It's
No, we're Sid when we need him. If
that's
you get that, if you get that reference, that's what it
yeah.
reminded me of.
I
It's like
see Toy
Sid.
Story. I know what it
Yeah,
is.
it's like Sid. You know, he's gonna take the Power Rangers and blow him up. You know.
I don't think that's a very
No.
catchy name. And now that you say that, it's a it's a dangerous thing for them to do a bad name, especially as a third reboot, because technically it is our third reboot. We had the Legacy collection, we had the Lightning collection, and now we're gonna have the Reignited collection.
And it's
That's
not even a collectible line. It's supposed to be a kids line. So why in the heck are you gonna name it
well,
a
yeah,
line that's gonna be reignition if it's not a collector's line?
okay. So here's what I've heard. This could be totally wrong. This is just like scuttlebutt, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they're gonna lock into like um, themes. So this year they're gonna do Mighty Morphin. Then next year they're gonna do Zero. Then the year after they're gonna call it something else and something else and something else. They're not the other, so that'd be kind of cool if we're only if 2025 is Mighty Morphin and then next year you move on to Zeo. You keep reigniting the franchise. You keep reigniting. Maybe you can play with that, but still, that's also too many words because you can't say Mighty Morphin Power Rangers reignite and it's two words reignite. Like nobody's gonna remember that. You need something that sounds cool, even for like toy collectors or nerds or whatever. You still need something that sounds cool. Star Wars, their most popular thing is what, the Black Series, right? Oh, it's the Black Series. Oh, it's darky. It's gothic.
Mm-hmm.
Most Star Wars is like black and white with browns, so their color
Yeah.
scheme kind of goes with it. Like Marvel Legends, oh, we're legendary characters from Marvel. That makes sense. This doesn't sound like a cool name that's gonna get people. Yeah, yeah. Let's start buying into this line. Oh, let's see what they got.
Well,
I don't.
you bring up a good point there too with the name. I mean, people are doing the same thing with the Nintendo Switch 2 now, where they're going, "Why did they call it the Super? Why didn't they call it the Super Switch or something like that?" I mean, again, it's simple. They call it the Switch 2 because the Switch sold so well. Why rebrand it? You're not gonna call it PlayStation a Mighty Station or something because nobody's gonna be like, "What's the difference?"
The
So
station of play.
why change the name of Power Rangers to something so odd? All you had to do was we're bringing out Mighty Morphin Power Rangers in 2025 Playmates versions. Done, simple, get it over with. Stop the ignition. That ignition should be turned off and thrown away. This is the point of view. It's that it didn't need to be there. It just didn't. You call it Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and you're done. You call Ninja Turtles Ninja Turtles. You're not gonna call them Ninja Turtles Hyper Hyper Ninja Turtles. It doesn't need to be there. You know.
Well, it's not even a theme because it's not even
Oh,
locked in. Because you could have Power Rangers Reignition. That's the name of the season, yeah. And then next
yeah.
year we call it Power Rangers Zeo, or the next. It's not a terrible name even as a theme, but you want to call Power Rangers Reignition as the entire legacy of the franchise of 30 years. That's not a
No, I mean that's
of
what we're
30
talking
years.
about.
That's
Yeah,
bad. That's bad.
it is.
Or another way this could have possibly worked is if we did another like, I don't know, like a TV special, and we call it Power Rangers Reignition as a TV special, like as a Netflix special, as like once and always, and we have it like car themed.
Yeah,
Even if we're not using turbo or RPM, if we use another car, whatever, that kind of works. But it doesn't. It doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound cool. It doesn't sound interesting. I get the idea of let's reignite the franchise. Oh, let's bring back what hasn't been or whatever.
yeah.
Valid point, but there's or I don't know, some cooler like the morpher version, or like the power coins, or the coin. Look right there, Boom Comics. They decided to create a whole timeline called the Coinless, right? Like
Yeah,
the Coinless sounds cool because like there's so much emphasis on Power Rangers morphing with their coin. Having a coinless team is interesting, but this, I don't know. It just seems like bad name. I wonder who decided to put it as that name. Was it like Playmates, or was it Hasbro, or was it like
and that's the thing.
did
Hasbro has the
Paramount
final.
got their hand in it already? You know what I mean? Did
I don't think
Paramount
so.
say this is what we're gonna call it? Or?
I don't think so because I think because my understanding again is Playmate still owns the yes you can and no you can't situation. You want to call it what? Oh, that sounds stupid enough. Sure, go for it. Let's see how far this can take you because Hasbro doesn't really care about Power Rangers, so they could have been like, "You have fun with that." But I've also heard the rumor that there's supposed to be a collector's line as well as a kids line. The
Okay,
collector's line is not supposed to come out just yet, but if the kids line does okay, they're supposed to be bringing out something similar to the Lightning collection.
yeah,
It still doesn't make any sense to do that because people are going to be like, it's not as quality or it's over quality. And now we got to get rid of these Rangers. And I don't know. I don't know. I just wish they changed the name to something.
it'd be cool if like even as a name, it's not like the Reigniters. If you had a team of superheroes called the Reigniters, and they're like fire based powers, or like, oh, we're the fire of the earth, we're the fire of the water, something like that, like kind of Captain Planety. You can come up with a morpher, but like it kind of makes sense. Like you're the Reigniters of power. Like I Muscular fighters, well, whatever. It's like at least it goes with something. It doesn't have to like this whole reignite is like reignite to what? Like it's really like there's it's funny, bro, but it's cool to see that something is at least happening with the brand. So that's a positive, right? I mean, at least
Yeah.
we're like sitting on our hands anymore because for the past 2 years we really haven't done anything. I mean, Hasbro tapped out at the beginning of 2023, and they they didn't even really promote Cosmic Fury the way they should have. They didn't make a toilet for Cosmic Fury. They
No,
didn't.
that irritates me.
Yeah,
Sorry.
they didn't really. So if somebody else is gonna, pick it up, or it's interesting. You know what'd be cool too? Like hypothetically speaking, if they do this, I mean they're already doing it, but like as far as what the toy line looks like, getting more into it because besides moving on from just the name, if they did armor of other seasons onto the Power Ranger suits, like oh here's the Zeo armor on a Mighty Morphin Blue or something, or like oh
Oh,
here's
I
the
see what you're saying. Yeah.
uh, armor theme to the base body of Mighty Morphin.
Yeah.
I think that'd be cool. I mean, that kind of goes with what Boom Comics has been doing, anyways, because they'll like, okay, let's take the shoulder pads of RPM and let's bring in this and let's color in that, and we'll still call it Almighty Morphin, but kind of play with that. If they do that for the actual figure, that'd be cool to see because I wouldn't mind having like uh, a regular base body like Red Ranger with like Gold Ranger power armor or something. That'd be cool to see. Or like a Gold Tyrannosaurus Rex or something. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Something new to spin it out. That'd be there. Uh, yeah, like to kind of close out because I think we're starting to run a little late on time. My last thoughts here are on the reignition is I think they're gonna just do 7 Rangers, bro. They're gonna have the 5 Rangers, Goldar, and a Putty. I don't think they're gonna get any more than that in year one. What do you think? Because that's kind of my closing thoughts there. What do you
Okay.
think the reignition looks like year one?
I I
Whatever.
think year one is gonna be exactly what you just said. I think they're also gonna bring out some kind of role play thing as well, and most likely it's gonna be the Morpher. Uh, because even the Turtle line has role playing for every time a new Turtle line comes out. It's simple for them to do. So
Yeah,
and
bandanas, katanas, burst.
yeah, you've seen it. You know what I'm talking about. So, anyways, that's it. I just think they're gonna put out the
Yeah,
5 Rangers, Gordor, Putty, and probably the Power Morpher.
yeah,
Maybe if you look at the end of the year, the Megazord, if
yeah.
this sells well.
Final question, and with this, we'll wrap up the show. Thanks everyone for watching the show. By the way, we always appreciate it. Final question, and I'll go first this time, so then you can, Final question is: do we get just a toy line crossover? And I think yes. I think there's gonna be some synergy that has nothing connected to anything else. It's just like a Ninja Turtle Power Ranger hybrid toy line that's gonna be kind of like Turtles of Grayskull or something like that. I think it's natural. You're making Power Rangers and Ninja Turtles in the same building. You're gonna have to have a sort of a test line or something like that. I think that'd be kind of cool to do. That be aside from Turtles are here, Rangers are here. I think it'd be cool to make like a. I think it's pretty possible, and I'm hopeful for it. So that's my thing. What do you think we get a Playmates style? Because they have both licenses now, right? I mean, you have both. You might as well use them.
Yeah, well, it's funny you bring that up because Hasbro already did that.
Yeah,
So it's
this would be
it's it's always
toy
possible. It's
line.
always possible, because then you'll have a power total size Power Ranger. So
Yeah,
nothing's impossible with the Ninja Turtles, and you know that.
yeah,
So it's always a possibility. I think so. Yeah.
yeah. Everybody, that's the show for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We had some fun, had some laughs. Any closing thoughts, buddy?
Just have a good night, good day, good evening, whatever time it is at your place that you're
Yeah,
watching this.
yeah. And may the force be with you. No, that's somebody else.
Cowabunga, dude.
There you go. Bye.
Peace.